Hi, welcome to Nerd Culture. I'm Armand Gutierrez. Today with me I have...
I'm Evan Burgoon, series writer.
Michael Finn, series letterist.
And I'm Sean Sutter. I'm the series artist.
And the book is... B Squad. And yeah, guys, how about you tell me about your book?
Well, B Squad's about these mercenaries that go on ridiculous and dangerous missions, and they're highly expendable because, you know, they're the B Squad. They're not the A team, they're the B Squad. So every issue I decided to kill one character, and determining that by the spin of a dice. So I randomly roll a dice, whatever number comes up, that guy's dead.
That's it?
Forever.
Never coming back. No zombies, no secret clonings, no whatever else. Forever dead.
Permadead. George R.R. Martin dead.
Yeah.
But, like, no comebacks.
So does that mean, like, you're constantly recreating characters?
Yeah, so they go to the funeral, and they say goodbye to the character, and then the boss shows up and is like, hey, so here's the new guy and a new mission. Go, bye.
So that must, like, suck to come up with new characters and then draw them dying, right?
Well, no, it's great because, like, you get to draw a bunch of characters. I don't have to just draw the same characters over and over. I get new characters every issue, so it's great.
Do you, like, draw them, like, in the same death poses, or, like, what do you add to kill them?
No spoilers. No, I'm just kidding. Well, in one scene at the funeral, one of the characters gets taxidermied. So it happens. We got to redraw. Like, the funeral page is like the homage to the character. So everything, like backstory, everything we wanted to draw that character doing, we just jam into a sweet montage, and then move from there.
That's the end of the character.
So
the great thing is, though, that it makes the story really about the squad rather than any individual, and I think that's more in tune with storytelling, because it should be about humanity. You're scratching at the human connection, and if it's about an individual that's always safe, you know, how do you really tell a good story? So It's really a writing exercise to kind of play with the dynamics of storytelling and how to drive it about a collective rather than one.
Yeah, so would you say, like, you're pro, I guess, like, Power Rangers anime teams and said, like, F you to every Marvel superhero who stands alone, or is it not that extreme?
No, I mean, I really do. I mean, there is a bit of a little punch to the fact that, like, Superman dies and then, like, weeks later he comes back. You know, like, that's not really fun or refreshing, you know, and rebooting and constantly, like, that's kind of the age we live in, where there's too much of that, and I think it's a little bit of a nod and a cap tip and taking a little piss out of that, you know, and saying, you know, like...
A little more real, a little more, because, you know, life is impermanent, right? Yeah. You know, you lose friends, you make friends. Your friends don't necessarily die, but it's not like your best buds anymore.
Right.
So you just move on. And
So then, since you guys get this freshness and get to move forward and whatnot, I guess what would be, like, the most exciting thing for you when you get the, like, new section, like, for, like, when you write, like, what's the exciting thing for you? When you draw, what do you do?
He's a letterist.
I do the
You're a letterist, right? Actually, no, I need to really ask that. As a letterist, when you design the bubbles as well, right?
Right.
So when you see a picture and you're like, oh, I don't want to cover this up, but we don't have enough room for the lettering, what do you do?
Well, that's, like, one of the most challenging things doing the letters is, like, if the writer likes to get a little verbose with the dialogue, and the artist decides to make a panel that's, like, 2 by 2, and it's, like, a whole page of dialogue. And sometimes it's like, hey, I think we need to change the script. But, I mean, usually there's a way. It's not that, the situation's not that extreme, so there's a way to fit it around. You got to get kind of creative with where the tails are going or where the balloons are. But, I mean, that's just part of the challenge, and that's what keeps it kind of interesting. Like, it would be boring if it was just, you know, really easy to place everything.
Like, I think the thing is, if a letterer does a good job, then you don't notice the letters.
Yeah.
You know, because then you hear it and everything, and you don't have to think about how you're reading where the bubbles are. So, like, I read the script, and heard a description of everything that happens, and then I drew people acting out what happens, and then I was done, you know? So then months later, when I was ready to look at my own drawings, I saw them with the word bubbles, and I was like, oh my gosh, I texted Michael, like, dude, you brought it to life, like, that was amazing. Never seen it with sound. It's like I shot a movie and didn't do any of the soundtrack, anything.
Yeah,
I just was hoping they were acting. And then he brought it to life, so it's a big deal.
So then, if you guys were to say you were in a band, you're not nerds anymore, and you're just super rock stars, what positions on the band would you be other than the techies?
Oh, good call. Dang. I guess I'd be the songwriter and unfortunately the lead singer. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm the front man.
Yeah. I think I would be the bassist, because a letterist no one really knows. Like, they kind of fly under the radar, so I'm just kind of in the back. Like.
But also, like, with a bassist, like, usually people that follow bassists, like, are really into that thing. And with letterists, like
they'll hear it.
Yeah, people that care about lettering, like, love letterists.
I'm so sorry that I said I don't know what you did in the middle of the interview. But seriously, I love bassists. And then...
Well, I guess I'd do the pyrotechnics, and I'd be the one-armed drummer while launching pyrotechnics. Like, that's what I'd do.
Everyone's like, oh my god, I love those colors.
Yeah, that's
because he does. I mean, like, I write a black and white script, and I have to be the face of the comic in a lot of ways, but Sean and a lot of the artists that worked on the book, like, they're the ones that really reach into the brain and then bring the black and white script into, like, something that's full color and beautiful and amazing, and stuff that I didn't even really, you know, I mean, I wished for it, you know, and it exceeds my wildest hopes. You know, it feels like somebody's just pulling this stuff out of my brain and going like, oh, that's really nice that it showed up. And sometimes it's really hard to even be critical of that, because it's like, this is perfect, look how cool, you know, and it's really wonderful. Like,
it's really cool to see everything come together at the very end. Like,
after years of work sometimes, you know.
I mean, like, it's a bunch of crazy stuff that I can't even imagine when I'm reading it, I can't imagine what it'll look like until I do the sketch and then refine it and then color it. Then I'm like, oh, cool, I get it now. Like, this is great.
So then you guys, at least in the comic world, I believe you guys are the A team of B Squad.
Hey, A for art.
Yeah. So where can people go see your work?
Well, you can go to www.bsquadcomic.com. We all have different Instagrams and Tweeters. I'm Burgoony Tunes on Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram, I believe I'm Finjitsu.
And I'm Sean _Sutter_art. Try to keep it my name or whatever.
Or you can find me as Eraser Nubs on, like, Twitter and, like, every single thing else.
Cool. Okay. Well, that's Nerd Culture. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.